So what happens, we talked about mining a few weeks ago, and suddenly we started getting some emails. So Greg Todoroff, one of our producers, drilled down and found a really cool company called Riverside Resources. And Riverside Resources is a really interesting company on a top-down basis that if you want to understand how mining is done.
Right.
We got the right guy. John Mark Staude. Am I saying it Staude? Is that right?
Like
Staude. Oh, Staude.
Staude, yeah.
Staude, like Audi.
Like
John Mark Staude is the president and CEO of a company called Riverside Resources. They are publicly traded, by the way, here in the States under the stock symbol RVSDF. RVSDF. I'll put that up on our website, bigbizshow.com. But he joins us here via Skype. Great to have you along, sir.
And you got to figure Riverside is a good place to look.
Yeah. Next. So can you talk to, because you guys have something called a prospector. No, wait. I memorize this. Prospect generator business model. Talk about that a little bit.
Exactly. Well, we actually generate new projects in the mining space. We find them, we develop them, and then we have partners. So we partner with some of the largest mining companies, and we're able to use our technology and our ideas to do that. So it's a win-win new approach to mineral exploration.
So talk, gold has gone out of favor the last couple of years, and suddenly, since we wiped $1 trillion off the table in market value, gold is suddenly popular again, as is silver and all their precious metals. Talk about sort of that story, the arc of that story for mining, where it's always there. Yeah. Yet sometimes it's popular, sometimes it's not. Yet you guys are resilient and continue to execute that business engine along the way. Talk a little bit about the market as a whole, would you?
Exactly. Well, the challenge with the market is it goes up and down so much, whether it's due to politics or whether it's due to things that are happening in the world economy or actually just with finance. So right now what we see is that with so much money getting wiped off the table, people are coming back to gold, also the ratio with gold and petroleum and other things like that. So what we see is that gold goes up and down, the other commodities as well. So we've created a business model that tries to take advantage of the lows to acquire things, and then when it's high, we're actually able to sell them. By doing that, we've been able to survive for a long time. But definitely the markets go up and down quite a bit for gold, and we think it's making a nice turn to the upside now.
So are you guys involved in, because I think one of the new business models in mining is M&A, is looking for properties and other organizations in an attempt to go back to the old vertical integration model of the mid-90s. Are you involved in the M&A stuff? Because that seems to be a pretty smart play for the mining business.
It really is, and actually we're the engine. We're like the nurtured generative group for that. So we put together, and then we sell into that M&A consolidation. So we saw Newmont and Goldcorp putting things together. We've seen Barrick taking over and doing big deals. So those are the type of things that we see. So basically we are filling that gap, filling that pipeline of the acquisitional products that go into that. Exactly right on track, and that's what Riverside is.
Is gold getting easier to find? I mean, is there an app for it yet? Can I just walk out and go, wow, there's a big gold ball right here underneath me?
Yeah, because that's a great question.
With sonograms.
Well, they have that spectral photography thing for a while that I don't know if that went anywhere. Yeah, is it easier on you now, or you just still out there and smell? Get that divining rod.
I hear there's a Shih Tzu that can smell gold.
Yeah, I heard that. How do you do it? Yeah, how's it done these days?
It's interesting. We do use a lot of technologies. We're not using Shih Tzus right now, but we are using some new innovative technologies. But it's become much more difficult for 3 reasons. One of the things is more people. People don't want mining in your backyard. Secondly, we really have to do it environmentally sensitive, so we work in key areas. And the third is the permitting time it takes is a lot longer. So it's not getting easier. So we see that definitely a squeeze on the supply, a really good chance for actually the price to go up. And we work in areas that we can develop them, but it's not getting easier. And the policies of everything are making it more difficult, although we see a good chance to make things happen in the future.
And by the way, his name is Dr. Staude, by the way.
Wow.
He has a PhD in geology. Am I accurate about that? I did a little diligence on you.
Researched well, but
so listen.
Put that on the card.
So when you are a doctor of geology,
that's cool.
And you say, I'm going to create a publicly traded company that is going into the gold mining business.
Right.
Did people scoff in the beginning? Did people? When you moved your career into exploration, was that obviously a lifelong dream? I'm assuming, but was there scoffing going on, or
were they laughing on the back nine?
Or did you give them that look? Well, I know what you don't know, and this is going to be successful.
Well, Sully is pretty funny because you're right. Usually you don't go so technical into it, but it's turned out really good for us. And I think also because I'd had the chance to work in big mining companies, I saw some of the challenges they face. So creating this model fits for a doc, fits for having deep technical knowledge and confidence, to have the competence to develop the project. So it fits really well, but definitely it's real different than being out there breaking all the rocks, now being the CEO of the company. But yeah, it's played really well for the...
Hey, stay right there. I'm going to keep you over, John. John Mark Staude is the president and CEO of a company called Riverside Resources. Oh, by the way, if you want more information, you can go to rivrez.com. It's a fantastic website.
He is a major miner.
He is a major miner. We're going to talk about some of the stuff and this prospect generator business model. Best way for investors to get exposure into mining. He's going to talk about that as well. Big Biz Show. Stand by. We're coming back.
Can you dig it?
Wow, wait a second.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Live from the Jump Television Studios in sunny San Diego, California. The Big Biz Show is on the air.
Come on out.
We are nationwide, coast to coast, everywhere. Great to have you along today. We're speaking to John Mark Staude, the president and CEO of a company called Riverside Resources.
Nowhere near Riverside, California.
Master's of Science from Harvard.
Dr. Dirt, we call him.
Dr. Dirt! Wow! Come on! You can't teach that, huh? That's why the Emmys keep flying in.
Baby.
Dr. Dirt. Rivrez.com, RIVRES.com. They are publicly traded under the stock symbol RVSDF. I'm going to have him back. I get the impression that we're going to be talking to him for a while. He's smart. And he's still with us, by the way. Okay, can you, first of all, we never asked you, so where are you guys based out of? I know you trade on the Toronto Venture Exchange as well as the U.S. stock exchanges, but talk about, where your properties are and so on and so forth.
You bet. Well, we're based in Vancouver, Canada. And the reason we're based in Vancouver, it fits well with prospect generation, and particularly with mineral exploration. It's kind of the Silicon Valley, the center where most mineral companies can form. It fit very well with the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange, which has the right policies that allow for companies like ours to be listed and provide capital with good, clean disclosure. And then our properties are in Mexico. The reason we work in Mexico is it's a fast, very low cost to develop projects, and you can do a lot of generation for mergers, acquisitions. Can provide good discoveries.
How difficult is it dealing with you've got the U.S., you got Canada and Mexico, all part and parcel doing a ton of commerce in this mega region. How difficult? Do you need to have boots on the ground there, or can you run it from up there? How difficult is it really to do that kind of work?
It's really based with people on the ground. So we have an office in Hermosillo, Mexico. Myself, I've been working in Mexico for 30 years. My father was born in Mexico City. So we've actually worked in Mexico quite a bit. All boots on the ground. It's so important to do that. The second thing you have to do is actually, by using local people, they can get along, work, keep you out of trouble. That's really important.
Yeah.
Talk about your business model, because there's gold and silver assets. And I heard sometime ago that every gold miner is also a silver miner, or vice versa. Talk about what you guys are actually exploring and what the optimal situation is for you guys as a company.
That's exactly right. And what this, Mexico has been the leading world producer for silver for over 5 centuries, 500 years. And often when you do produce silver, you produce gold. Also in Mexico, there's a large gold belt where I started working and did my PhD doctorate on the study of these gold deposits. So we know these gold deposits make for big mines. And so gold and silver in Mexico is very good. And you're so right. We need it in North America. It fits really well with bringing it into the U.S. and into Canada. And it allows for the capital of New York and of the United States to be deployed in a safe, rapid way, getting back the product. It's a really good business model.
How much Goldschlager is in a gallon of that? How long do you have? It's not.
That's not the same.
Just trying to relate.
Can I ask you about this prospect generator business model that you have here? Because this makes it easy access for Johnny Lunchbucket, who knows nothing about mining, to get involved. Talk a little bit about that.
It really does. What it does is it provides a diversification of multiple different commodities. So Riverside acquires the properties, and then we have partners to de-risk it, and we provide all the operational and work. It's kind of like real estate. If you had a whole bunch of houses or real estate properties, Riverside acquires those, puts them together, and then operates as the prospect manager and finds investors to develop the individual projects into mines. So we develop mines, and Riverside keeps a royalty. So we generate royalties. So as an investor, you're exposed to royalties, you're exposed to multiple different commodities. So when the commodity markets go up and down, Riverside can be more stable.
Yeah.
And when something hits, we're ready for it.
It's a team effort.
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, and where do you guys plan on being? We don't talk about numbers and we don't talk about share price here on the show, but as far as a company, as far as exploration goes, what are you guys looking at for the next 12 to 18 months versus the next 5 years?
Yeah, for the next 12 to 18 months, we see drilling. And what drilling does is it de-risks a project, and having partners do that is the way you get the good upside with limiting the downside. So that's a great way to do it. And also, in the next 12 to 18 months, we see partnered our major company, BHP, which is a mega big mining company. They're funding our work for copper. So then in 5 years, we definitely see the projects moving ahead towards operations of us having royalty cash flow out of it, and in 5 years having additional resource assets in the company, and again, having partners like BHP doing that is a really great way for investors to see that, wow, here's a company that's got the world's largest mining companies partnering with them to develop resources in Mexico.
The other thing I want to talk to you about before I let you out of here today is gold. Gold itself, as I said, went out of fashion for a while. I mean, if you look at where gold's trading today, gold's presently is at about $1,330 an ounce. There were times when when you hear the commercials where gold's going to go to 5,000, and it was staring down the barrel of 1,500 for a while there. It's always going to be that hedge against inflation, but boy, in these tumultuous times, it's probably time to take a look at gold again. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And one of the things we don't appreciate is that the rest of the world's been collecting the gold that we've been producing.
Yeah.
Fort Knox and other places have actually gotten rid of the gold they have. The gold reserves have been used as a monetary basis, not to be just linked to gold price, but part of having a secure currency. And the second thing that we definitely see is that gold is harder to find, and you see that monetary uncertainty and other things, people have always found gold as a way to hold that value, whether it's through wars or whether it's through just over time, the royalty. They always wanted to have the gold because it gave one part of value, and it was a way to pass value. So I see that it's definitely going up in value, and China, India, Russia are all collecting the gold. So definitely here in the United States, we want to make sure we have our own gold resources. We're able to have that strength too.
Never been worth nothing.
No, I'll tell you.
Right?
John Mark, will you come back with us again? It was fantastic. Really fascinating talking to you. I think it'd be great to have you back. And John Mark Staude, President and CEO of Riverside Resources.
What's funny is when you said we're going to have a gold digger on today, I put on cologne. But wasn't quite.
Rivrez.com. All right, Big Biz Show. BigBizShow.com. We're back in a sec.